Alberto Del Rio has reportedly been re-signed by WWE. WWE shareholders have accused Vince McMahon of withholding evidence, and we've got return updates on Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. It's time for the news. So make of this one what you will. According to a new report from Ernesto Ocampo of superluchas.com, Alberto Del Rio has been re-signed by WWE. A tweet went out. You can see it here. Some big names there, some big AAA names. The top of which there, Alberto Del Rio. He is the current AAA Mega Champion. That is their top belt. He is a 4-time world champion in WWE, the only man on that list with any WWE main roster experience. And a big surprise to see this. I think take this with a grain of salt, just because Alberto Del Rio has been very outspoken about WWE, but also he has, his legal history.
Very controversial man, both in and outside of the ring.
I don't know if this happens or not. If he has been re-signed, I can't imagine them putting 47-year-old Alberto Del Rio back on TV. I don't really know what there is to gain there, because fans aren't clamoring for an Alberto Del Rio return in WWE at all. He's a guy who's like... He's held so much gold in WWE over the years. As I say, 4-time world champ. He held various mid-card titles, former Mr. Money in the Bank.
Major feuds, obviously a central figure regardless of title status for quite a lot of his initial run with the company.
But I don't think people really miss him. And as I say, he's getting on in years now. He's 47 years old. He is still wrestling very regularly as well. But...
We also don't really know what the contract situation is with AAA and WWE. Could this be that they're signing WWE contracts to continue working for AAA if WWE now owns AAA? So it might not be indicative of a WWE return. It could just be sort of securing future for people on the AAA side.
Yeah. If this is true, I think the negatives far outweigh the positives.
Yeah.
And the company, they don't seem to care or anything, but they've had a bad month or so as far as PR goes. I'm not sure signing Alberto Del Rio and then sticking him on TV, if that is the plan, is the best way to remedy that. Obviously, we'll keep you updated. I don't see it happening personally.
No, I just can't. I can't really make it work in my head right now.
No, not at all. From one controversial man to another, WWE shareholders have accused Vince McMahon of withholding evidence. He has been accused of resisting or delaying full compliance with discovery in relation to the ongoing lawsuit filed by a group of WWE shareholders. That took place last year, but the lawsuit, the filing has been updated in the last week. The group has accused WWE of carrying out a sham investigation into the series of misconduct and hush money allegations made against him. Their lawsuit claims that WWE's board breached their duties by bringing McMahon back and agreeing to the WWE UFC merger with parent company Endeavor, claiming that doing so put McMahon's interests above those of shareholders. WrestleNomics reporting on the filings made last week, asking the Delaware Court of Chancery to compel McMahon to respond to discovery requests. They are seeking non-privileged materials related to McMahon for the period between January and March 2024, asking him to produce certain documents, though the exact nature of the documents are sealed from public view.
Which, I mean, it's a pretty... I mean, it's obviously a closed-off matter, but it's quite massive that it is sort of a group lawsuit seeking to be levied against him for, like, I guess, like, if it is found that Vince's own sort of interests are being put ahead of shareholders, it's a very difficult situation, especially when there's more ongoing legal matters at the same time. Obviously, the Janelle Grant situation. Janelle Grant's team have asked to move their lawsuit against McMahon, Laurinaitis, and WWE to the discovery phase, while more plaintiffs have joined the Ring Boys lawsuit against WWE, Vince, and Linda as well. So it all just seems to be coming to a head here. On the McMahon front, but I think as well with withholding potential information from shareholders, potentially interfering in the discovery phase, this could really snowball out of control.
Yeah, essentially what they are accusing him of is what's being described as a sweetheart deal, something that, favors Vince McMahon, and the other buyers of WWE weren't seriously considered, that it was like a foregone conclusion that the merger would happen and
you're just going to go along for the ride. ride,
would
basically
be a thing. So it's essentially about Vince not acting in the interests of shareholders. So we will also keep you updated on that legal matter. We've got a couple of return updates, big uns too. Cody, Rhodes, and CM Punk. We'll talk about Cody first. He's not been seen on WWE TV since dropping his title to that dastardly John Cena in the main event, that excellent main event of WrestleMania 41 Night 2. Cena, of course, has his first title defense of Backlash this Saturday, taking on Randy Orton, but it looks like the American Nightmare may have something to say about the outcome of that match, as he is currently advertised to appear on the May 16th edition of SmackDown in Greensboro, North Carolina. He is advertised for the show alongside Orton, Tiffany Stratton, LA Knight, Bianca Belair, Solo Sikoa. However, Rhodes being advertised doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be there, because he's previously been advertised for the April 25th edition of SmackDown, but did not appear. He is advertised at the moment. I think it's a bit frustrating. It's a bit crappy of WWE to be doing this, because you've got to assume that they knew that Cody would be taking time off following WrestleMania, and they'd still been advertising him for various shows before pulling him fairly last minute, and then Cody just doesn't turn up for this stuff. People have bought tickets to see Cody.
Yeah, and to sort of pull the card subject to change thing, it is a little bit kind of grubby, isn't it? I think that ultimately they need the right return point for Cody as well, though, so it all really hinges on the Backlash situation. How's he going to address it? Surely he's got a rematch clause in there somewhere. Surely he's going to be able to go for we need him back before we know where any of this is going to go, right?
Does he go straight back after Cena? Does he involve himself in a feud not relating to the world title? I don't know. I'm
going to use my rematch clause for the US title. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that Cena's going to hold that belt for a while. Do you have Cody? Do you give Cody a rematch early on into Cena's reign, or do you wait until the end? A lot of people seem to think that Cody is going to be the man to dethrone Cena, that he's going to get the belt back from him. But I don't see that happening before, at the very earliest SummerSlam, but probably Survivor Series.
I think probably SummerSlam, if they want John Cena to be kind of a happy ending sort of babyface at Survivor Series. But ultimately, you can't really just jump straight back in 2 feet with Cody. So you've got to think there's going to be some form of shenanigans to just stall for a little bit, unless he just turns up, sets his sights on SummerSlam and says that's when it's happening. And at that point, it's sort of a foregone conclusion that match will be happening. But in the build-up, you're going to likely potentially have The Rock. Definitely not. Appearing over Skype. Travis Scott will come out for a little bit.
Shut down. Have to get Zoom.
Microsoft Teams. But essentially, I think it allows for shenanigans to try and derail Cody on the road to that match. Kind of like a Mortal Kombat tower that he's got to get through in order to get to Cena. And they're not going to be playing fair. But at the same time, I could see it being more kind of just left on the burner a little bit and do it closer to the time.
I think they can fix it, but I'm in no rush to see that match again.
No.
Because WrestleMania Night 2's main event was gash.
kind of poo, wasn't it?
It was, like, people were so hyped for it, and then what we got.
Don't believe everything you read. I'll be there. I'll be at Mania. God damn. God, stop listening to the internet.
CM Punk is the other man that we are talking about. He will not be returning on tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw in Omaha at the
Nutter Center,
telling fans that he needs more recovery time after WrestleMania 41. So he was on an Instagram live stream on Saturday, and then he was asked about appearing on tonight's Raw. Punk directly addressing this, saying, "Brother, I had 1 week off. I need more." People very, very keen to see CM Punk, especially after everything that has happened with regards to Paul Heyman, now Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker as well. His last appearance was on the April 21st edition of the flagship show. So you're going to have to wait a little bit longer if Phil is to be believed. We're going to finish on a story regarding something that we talked about in the first video. Shotsy Blackheart. She was... She's not had a contract renewed, or she's not going to have a contract renewed by WWE. And just, we've got a little bit of an update. And honestly, this is my balls up. I'm holding my hands up here. Missed a now deleted post on X. It was gone. But apparently, Shotsy had tweeted clarifying how much time she has left on her deal. Writing,
"Just to clarify, I still have a good amount of time on my contract, but come July, I'll be full-time balls to the walls."
Sorry for missing that. I'm very, very sorry. So I don't quite know if that means that her contract expires, then she's got the no-compete afterwards, or if that's when the no compete expires.
Yeah.
But that's how long she's got left on her contract from the horse's mouth in the nicest way possible. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back with, you're right. We'll be back with more wrestling news tomorrow. And take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in a bit.
Tatty bye.